Welcome to another edition of Hardcore Wrestling 101.
Oh, I'm Hardcore Christopher.
Giving man a chance to talk and he doesn't say nothing. Okay, spoilers will be happening in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I want to talk some Impact Wrestling and Slammiversary. So I gave my warning, there will be spoilers. So far, there has been 3 matches that I know about. 2 that Impact has announced. They have now announced Josh Alexander will defend the title against the winner of the Gauntlet, which, spoiler 1, is Eric Young. The King of the Mountain match is returning, but it's going to be the Queen of the Mountain. I'm not even going to try to remember who's all in it. I know Grace. Jordan
Grace
is in it. Tasha Steele's in it. Oh, Bianca Plaza is in it. And then you got Tara Valkyrie. And I believe, this is where I'm not 100% sure if I remember correctly, I want to say Mia Yim got that 5th spot. Again, that's just what I think.
And Jade.
Yes. And she's using Mia Yim.
Which I didn't even know.
Which means she's probably the one that I didn't know either. I did not put the connection together. And I watched the Dollhouse gimmick.
Didn't.
I did. And that's what makes it
I'm
so
still
bad.
trying to figure out how
And our final match that has been announced is Ace Austin will defend. I wasn't sure if it was a defense or a number 1 contender. They just announced qualifying matches for the Ultimate X. But Ace Austin will be defending the title in the 5-way X Division Ultimate X.
Who's his opponent?
Well, Trey qualifies tomorrow night. So they're doing qualifying. You probably have 1 qualifying match a week. Because there's probably roughly 5 weeks. That's what we know for sure. What I would like to see happen with Bullet Club and Honor No More is have
They form a gigantic faction like the NWO did back in...
We got 2 forms going currently. I would like to see, since they are feuding with one another, put them in Lethal Lockdown, aka War Games.
That'd be the biggest Lethal Lockdown they've had to date.
It would be the one with the most impact for a while, for sure. And to make it even more interesting, make it where the losing team can never compete together in Impact. Only Impact, mind you.
So...
With Honor No More, none of them besides PCO being under contract, they could make it work, especially this is the end of the deal.
So it's basically AMW versus Triple X.
Yeah.
Whoever lost to Spanish.
I mean, that's just an added bonus they can add. I'm not saying they have to. Give me a cage match, period. I'd be happy. But I'm glad I'm getting to see a ladder match, even though it's a reverse ladder match. The Ultimate X, I've seen once before. By the way, if you haven't figured it out, I'm going live. So,
the only thing I really didn't care for was the reverse battle royal. I thought that was stupid.
that was stupid. I'm glad they didn't bring that back. So, I want your thoughts on Josh versus Eric. World title.
The Wild Man versus the guy who... I haven't been watching Impact, so I can't really... I'm going to say young, because Josh is champion, right?
Uh-huh. The outcome's too predictable. He's not winning. Josh is retaining. Because this will be his first official pay-per-view at champion. Because the last one was a network exclusive type thing.
But it was still a pay-per-view in a sense.
Depends where you watched it at. If you watched it on Fight TV, you had to pay for it, of course.
Sure.
But I don't see Josh losing. He chased that belt for 6 months. I don't see him losing it. That's just my personal opinion on it. I don't see him losing it.
Okay.
If you think he is, then that's a joint split decision. but I don't see him losing.
Given that it's his first pay-per-view appearance, I'll go with you on this one. Josh.
So, match 2 that we know about, Queen of the Mountain. I gave you the list of names I think is in it.
Okay.
How do you see this going? Does Tasha Steele do what only one person has done to date and retain in this matchup? Well, okay, never mind. I gotta retract that. Samoa Joe was the first, but he ain't the last. Because Suicide retained the X title. But is that the only time the world title been retained in that match? I believe so.
I thought Jarrett during his time won
No,
it.
he won it, but he was never champion going in. I watched 04, he wasn't champion, he won. I watched 05, Raven won. Jarrett wasn't even in it because he got kicked out before the match could start. 2006, Jarrett won it. But he did not go in as champion. I think it was AJ as champion. 2007, Kurt Angle won the first official TNA World title.
Okay.
2008, I want to say Mick Foley was champion. No. 2008, Joe retained. 2009, Foley was champion, but I don't think he walked out as champion. 2010, I don't remember. I don't remember from that on.
Why was Suicide's X Division title on the line?
It was the first time an X Division championship was decided in King of the Mountain. And then they later...
That just sounds weird, though.
In 2006, they actually had the King of the Mountain Championship. Well, we had so many of these matches, it wasn't funny, to the point that we haven't had a King of the Mountain since. And I was hoping they brought it back, and of course they are. So you know who's in Queen of the Mountain? While I'm going to get me a drink, I'm going here because it's probably cheaper than trying to go to Sonic. I want you to touch on who you think may win it, and I will give my thoughts on it in a minute.
I don't see Tasha Steele retaining. However, what I could see happen, and it would make sense considering that Deonna Purrazzo just got done dropping the women's title to Mercedes Martinez. I could see Deonna winning it. I think Grace will put on a good showing, but I think she'll fall short. Is there any surprises we could see? It's possible. I don't really see. I could see Deonna winning it simply because she was so dominant. But other than that, thing with King of the Mountain or Queen of the Mountain is anything can happen at any given point in time. I think Tasha retaining would be a shock simply because I think people would suspect that she's not going to retain at all. But on the other hand, it's possible. It's entirely possible. I'm gonna say Deonna. I'm still going to say Deonna. It would help her get back on track after losing to Mercedes Martinez. Now we have to wait for Hardcore Wrestling 101 to get back in here, and he's walking to the van.
You have been talking, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I had to buy something else. Note to self, don't go to the store if you are spending less than $3 and you have a debit card. Tried to save money while I ended up spending more.
Okay.
So have you gave who you think might win?
I'm saying Deonna Purrazzo.
Boy, I don't know how we did that. Because that was unless her contract's bound up and she decided not to resign, which is a possibility, then she's not losing that match, I don't think.
I was stuck between Deonna or Tasha, but the more I thought about it, the more it made sense.
She doesn't look good without a championship on her. Even though she's an evil witch, that's her gimmick. She does not look good without a championship. Impact built her up too good not to have a title.
And Mercedes Martinez versus Mercedes Martinez.
That was good.
That was good. The only thing I got from that was, did she look darker than usual? Did she use a little bit too much spray tan?
I'll have to go back and rewatch it. I don't know. So I'm gonna go Plaza unless her deal's up. But then again, they may put both belts on Tella. Unless between now and then, she gets that AAA back as well. Or she can become champ again. If she doesn't win, expect her contract to be coming up soon. Because it's going on the two-year mark, and that's usually what Impact starts with. And she will sign with Ring of Honor / AEW.
Do you think that's why Triple X lost their 6 Sides of Steel, where if either team lost, they would have to disband?
No, because they all was still in the company. So the next match, it's going to be hard to predict because we don't know who's all in it. But it's for the X title. It's going to be hard for any champion to retain in that sort of match. Same way with a King of the Mountain / Queen of the Mountain to retain in that type of match.
I don't see Ace Austin retaining. I'm sorry.
Do they have a wild card for this match and bring back a legend from the past?
I could definitely see that.
Surely they're going to bring someone back, if only for one night. Sharkburger has never been in the match, even though he's scheduled for the next set of tapings. Before
he's still under contract?
No. This is going to be his return. At least for one night. So that's the 3 matches we know. So let's play fantasy booking and predictions.
Okay.
I'm going to say Lethal Lockdown, Honor No More, Bullet Club. I'm not going to add the loser must disband portion, but I think this is where Bullet Club gets their win back, and it might be the end of Honor No More and an Impact for the simple fact they were not under contract, and usually without being a contract signed, they only keep you around for so long. And maybe this is when they go back to Ring of Honor full time.
So wait, you're saying all of Honor No More?
All but PCO. PCO has signed.
Are technically free agents.
All but PCO, yes.
Okay.
So, that could be a fourth match. Throw a match in. That's under Impact banner.
Here's the thing, I haven't been watching Impact. So
Okay, so I would just throw matches together and you give your opinion. How's that?
okay.
The Briscoes defend against the Good Brothers. This time both teams are fresh. You can give the prediction winner.
Briscoes are too good to lose to the Good.
Well, I wasn't going to go that route. I was going to go the route they just won them a week ago.
Oh, they just won them?
Like a week ago.
Okay.
That would be my reason they ain't going to lose them.
Then if that's the case, then Briscoe, there's no way that... Do you think the Good Brothers are a one contract?
No, they also can go to New Japan.
Okay.
So speaking of Japan, and so let's say the knockout tag titles, which is under the Influence, which is Madison Rain and what used to be Emma.
Oh, Tenille Dash.
That's it. Let's say they go against a team from the Japan Women's Company that they just bought.
Sure.
Yeah, that's it. I can't give you names because I don't watch it, but let's just say that because right now Impact doesn't have no tag teams. They got the Influence quit.
Oh, they didn't quit. They just said they were stepping away from wrestling.
They claimed they quit. Was their exact words. So they will want to defend all the belts. So we got the world, we got the tag now, X, women's. That would be the tag. Okay, Digital Media. Who does Cordona's face?
Oh God. Cardona. Who used to be known as Zack Ryder, and
He's also the NWA champion.
so correct me if I'm wrong, with the Digital Media Championship is only for the social media platforms.
But they do show it for like the 30 minutes prior to the shows.
Rohit. Or whatever his name is.
I know who you're talking about. I'm just making sure. I think he's still in the contract. Okay. I can live with that. However, let's put a little twist in this, just in case. Maybe he doesn't defend that belt. Maybe Scott D'Amore can get Billy Coleman to allow the NWA World Title to be defended, for the simple fact the NWA World Title is what started in Impact. For Impact. The belt was what Impact's used for the first 4 years.
Keyword, only the first 4 years. From 05 on, it's been the TNA World Title.
No, 07 on. But maybe one more have them come in as a guest championship for one night to honor the history of Impact.
Do you think we could see Jeff Jarrett?
That's a possibility. He still owns 10%.
We could see him. I was gonna
Maybe
say
he comes and challenges Cardona for the belt, wins it, and takes it back to NWA.
Is he under an NWA contract?
No, but he did special guest referee for him at the Crockett Cup.
True.
That is far-fetched, but it's a possibility. That's all I'm saying.
Because even though Jarrett and Carter and Russo and, well, yeah, mainly Dixie and Russo fell out, it's under a whole new regime.
Mm-hmm. But Jarrett still has 10% ownership.
Did he ever get his master tapes?
No, because apparently they boned them, threw them away, something. But he did get a good celebrate.
Okay, I can see your wheel spinning.
I'm just saying it could be a possibility. Maybe for a one-time return type thing. Since the belt is still active.
Well, you could look at it and be like, Jarrett was their most dominant champion for.
Do I think it's gonna happen?
Years.
Do I think it's gonna happen? Probably not. But there is a small possibility, being that the champion is working Impact and he's a Impact champion as well.
Hey, I never thought Cornette would make another appearance for Impact, but he did. Well, then it was Global Force Wrestling, but
Got anything you want to yak about before?
how do you feel about Miss Rhea Ripley turning and being part of Judgment Day?
The tone I saw coming. What little bit I did watch of the week before. The joining Edge's group I did not see coming from a mile away, even though everyone in the neighborhood was predicting it.
You're kidding.
No.
Why did you not expect her to join up with Edge?
I just didn't see her as a team player.
Well, no one sees Randy Orton as a team player, and he was part of Evolution.
That was the first one to leave Evolution.
No, he got kicked out.
He still was forced to leave, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, so was every other horseman. Besides one, I think.
The only one who wasn't kicked out of that group was Flair.
But that's because Flair owned it.
Arn didn't get kicked out. He left because he was...
Ole just decided he got tired of it and left.
No, Ole got kicked out. I was talking about Arn. Arn never got kicked out of the group, but he left the group because he wasn't able to wrestle no more.
But then he came back decades later. Well, not decades later, but years later, and formed what? Four Horsemen 3.0 at that point? With Mongo.
That's the group he had to leave. That's the only time he had to leave.
Oh, is that when Arn
Had that neck issue.
I'm gonna say he did a promo on.
And then Nash did it at the NWO making fun of it the next week.
Okay.
So I want to touch on something that I haven't really talked to you about.
Okay.
Well, you know the first part. You don't know the second part.
Okay.
The featherweight division in MLW is a women's division. Your thoughts on that first before I move on.
I don't like the name featherweight because that means that not all women are as light as a feather.
I think they were looking for something new that no one else had. We have knockouts, we have women, we have divas.
Superstars.
I can't think of what. Booker T has a division that I can't think of the name off right on my belt. But go ahead and talk about the women's division.
I'm honestly surprised that it took MLW this long to.
I don't think it would have if the pandemic didn't happen. Because the first Rumbling was in 2019. But then everything got shut down. So,
yeah.
We both agree that women need a division.
Yes.
This is where it gets a little iffy.
Complicated?
In my book. I think Taylor's going to be the first champion.
Okay.
Because she's just the one with the name behind her. Because Bauer, or whatever his name is, the owner of MLW, is planning on having, you know how all the men has their different divisions for the women?
Oh no.
He's planning on doing the same for the women.
Oh no.
I meant he does it for the men, so we have the world title, we have the national title, we have the this title, that title, this title. He's planning on doing that with the women.
No.
I can see one more belt, like the TBS title, for instance.
If he's literally thinking of making a separate division,
He needs to make his
women,
separate show.
He needs to make a separate show. Either that,
Or expand the time he has now. 1 hour a week is not going to cut it.
and on top of that, they need a bigger TV platform.
I think that's on the works. Too many hints have been dropped. I mean, this is basically what we were talking about on the last video, probably, I think we did, about the NWA thinking about bringing the U.S. title and a women's TV title.
They need to expand their time.
They do. And they're on YouTube, so it could happen. I'm not saying it couldn't. But he's been hitting a lot about a major network that he's been discussing TV with. Maybe that's where this is all going. I don't know. But they're crowning their first champion in Philly. And I think it's this weekend.
The home of ECW.
And Sandman is going to be there. And Blue Meanie, I want to say.
It's the Blue Meanie.
And then Gangrel is going to be there.
Okay, that I did not expect.
I don't understand. And he's in the match, of all things.
What?
I don't think he was ever ECW, so that makes no sense to me why he's going to be there. But who am I to judge?
Okay, let's talk about some Double or Nothing.